the music video is so good as well. Quite literally, every single moment in the music video is iconic. Howdy, Meowers. I'm Cledge.
Howdy, everyone. My name is Devin, and I thought of something funny. It happens sometimes.
Okay. Well, what are we doing today?
Today, we are doing K-pop comeback Roundup 2023 edition.
Okay. Well, we should probably explain what that means. So why don't I go ahead and do that?
Okay, Cledge, go right ahead.
Okay, thanks. So we usually do a K-pop comeback coverage every month of, the comebacks that happened that month. And we talk about it. We share our thoughts. We're going to be doing the same sort of sharing our thoughts on comebacks thing today. But this time we're doing a kind of mixed bag of comebacks that we didn't get to cover because we didn't start the podcast back up yet. Comebacks that we never talked about because we didn't know the group when we did the monthly, comeback episode for that time. We just straight up didn't even just talk about it because we had too many other comebacks to talk about or something like that. So we didn't talk about it then, or we have a couple recent ones to talk about that just happened. So basically, like I said, mixed bag.
We're just rounding up all the comebacks that we've, not covered yet that we feel at this time we do want to cover.
Right. So, we're gonna it's kind of old news, but we're gonna be treating it like a monthly comeback episode. We're just gonna share our thoughts on all these comebacks because it's stuff that we want to talk about now. So, yeah. Subscribe to the BlushCat channel on YouTube for more content like this.
Yeah. Or follow us on Spotify.
Yeah. Okay, so should we just get started?
I suppose why not? That's what we're here for.
Okay, so we are going to start with none other than Blitzers.
The one, the only Blitzers.
Blitzers.
Pew, 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 pew.
Good. I feel like that
Blitz.
was appropriate. Okay. So Blitzers actually had their comeback in April that we're going to be talking about today. And unfortunately, I failed to recognize when the comeback actually happened. I didn't know. I didn't know. I deeply regret it. I'm deeply ashamed of my actions. But I know now, and that's what counts, right?
Exactly. That's what counts.
So,
not everyone could be there for DKZ Blockbuster, but as long as you're there now, it's a similar situation. Some people won't have been there for Macarena. We were some of those people, but we're there now.
Yeah. So that's right. We're talking about their Macarena comeback. And, if you are a Meower, if you have been listening, we have talked about Blitzer's Macarena quite a few times already. We didn't talk about the comeback itself, but it's definitely come up. So if you've been listening, you've heard us talk about Macarena and how good we think that this song and this whole release in general is. So Macarena is a single album, so it had Macarena, the title track, and it also had another song, Question Mark. So we're going to be talking about both of those things. So I'm just going to jump right in.
Okay.
It's so good. I want to literally just scream this entire episode about how good Macarena is, but I can't spend the entire episode doing that. But honestly, we could devote an episode to Macarena.
Easily.
Just Macarena. Not even, I could devote one to Question Mark and one to Macarena.
Honestly, it's kind of okay that we're not going to be devoting the most time in the world to it this week, because I'm sure, wink wink, it's going to come up again. We'll have more opportunities to talk about it pretty soon. So
that's true. Well, that's just the song itself. That's that good. But the music video is so good as well. Quite literally, like every single moment in the music video is iconic. Every like frame is just, just a moment in history. And, the same with the song. Like every second is like you just feel the vibes of Macarena and it takes over your entire being. And it's like, yes. Yeah, it is that serious. It's really iconic. The dance, incredibly catchy. I don't know how much of it Jinhwa made, but I know he at least did like the chorus part of it. So that's really catchy. When they do it live, it adds even more energy. It's horrible though how sometimes during the music shows it's like the abridged version and it gets cut short. Like I don't know what the music shows are thinking, cutting Macarena short, cutting Blitzers short.
The disrespect.
Yeah. But just it's really like we say things are iconic a lot, but Blitzers Macarena is iconic.
Like it's at the top. I'd say top tier iconicness.
Yeah, and that's my take.
I mean, that's a great take to have. I feel like people should agree with that take. I agree with that take, Cledge. Yeah, it's like it's so fun of a song, but like it serves. Like there are fun songs. Like sometimes I describe a song as fun. I'm like, yeah, it's fun. But like it's fun in like a less serious way. Like it's like fun as in like I could listen to it, but this is like serious, guys. It's serious. How good it is. Like how fun, quote unquote, it is. And something that it makes it so great, once again, like I've talked about this with some other songs, is that the beginning is so great. And so it's not just like, oh yeah, it's got a great chorus or something, and like you said, like every moment of the song is great, so like there's no bad parts, but also yeah, like the beginning is so good that it gives it that addictive quality where you're like, I have to just listen to it again. I could listen again, like why wouldn't I put it on again? So good. I love the trumpet. Can we just, for a moment acknowledge the trumpet? Love the trumpet.
I am acknowledging the trumpet.
And yeah, like the music video, their acting is so great, like all the little details, like all of the like members in the background moments, it's like everything is so good about it. And then yeah, lastly, like you said, the whole promotion, like the energy of the whole promotion, like all the different sorts of like performances, live band thing, relay dance, it's all so good and so iconic. Like they're delivering every single time.
It's bringing back the energy that I feel like a lot of the mainstream batch isn't really bringing. Like it's got this uniqueness to it that makes it stand out in such a good way. And I feel like that was common in like, older generations to have that kind of just complete, like, what even is this and how is it working so well type of energy. That Blitzers Macarena has that, and, it's really working.
Yeah, like I remember when I first saw it, I thought, what is this? Like, what in the world is on the TV right now? Like this is, what are these people wearing? Like what am I watching? But then like the second time you see it, you're kind of like, oh, is this again? And then like by the third time you're like, okay, yeah. And it just like, it's like it pulls you in. And it like sometimes things can be like, what am I watching? And you're like, go away. It's like, what am I watching? Like, stop. But this is like, what is this? You don't want to take it seriously, but like you can't not take it seriously because it's that good. So yeah. Like it pulls you in.
Okay.
And I just think, yeah, like comparing it to some of the more like mainstream groups, well, I suppose maybe not comparing it to lots of groups, right? Like any across the board. I just feel like sometimes there could be a comeback that happens where it gets to a point where you feel the group is sort of going through the motions, you know? They're like, okay, we got to perform it again. You're like, we're going to perform it here. And they're like in their, like, you know, like sometimes you can feel, and it's not even like group specific. I feel like it is more like comeback specific. Sometimes with a certain song that they have like a stage mode or like their specific stage presence that they've like, you know, just got at the ready to like be like, okay, I'm performing now. And you don't like feel it and like see it as much. But with Blitzers Macarena, like you totally feel like they are like there and they're performing it every time. So it's so good.
Yeah. The styling, I think, is, well, you know, the music video styling, once again, I'll say it again, absolutely iconic. Like the tracksuit outfits and then, you know, the like Joker, detective, zombie, rock star, all that. Those are just like, the minute I saw those outfits, I knew. I knew. I was like, this is iconic. Like, this is just, I was like, only legends could pull that off, like, and make that styling work. And so, like, literally, the moment I saw it, I knew that this was gonna be good. And also, like, I just think the, you know, general kind of more casual styling that they do for like music shows, I think that's pretty good too. And I like the for their like jacket photos for the album, I think those are good. And like the winter outfits, those are really fun too. Just overall, I think it's really good. Their comeback showcase, that was iconic again. Everything about this comeback was iconic if you didn't get the picture. I want to say I've seen every single performance of Macarena because that's how much I've watched it, and honestly, I would believe at this point if that is a true statement. And yeah, it's just really good. And now I'm just going to say that question mark is everything to me. Like, I love that song. It's so good.
It's pretty good. Macarena is still my favorite, but yeah, that one, like the live performance and everything, you know, they're delivering still. It's pretty good.
I really wish that they perform it more because there's like 2 performances of question mark, and that really is, you know, like I really just I want to see more question mark stages because it's seriously so good. The vibes are there. I love that song. Don't overlook that song, please, and thank you.
Just check out Blitzers, guys.
Check out Blitzers. Yeah, thank you for coming to our TED Talk on Blitzers. We're gonna move on to GHOST9.
Okay.
So GHOST9, we're talking about their October comeback with Ruckus as the title track, and they had their Arcade O EP. So I knew about GHOST9 a little bit, like I knew of GHOST9, but I never really heard any of their songs before, except I had, like, right before the Ruckus comeback, I heard their song X-Ray, and I was like, you know, this is pretty good. And then I was like, okay, they're having a comeback. So when Ruckus came out, I watched it and I was like, this is pretty good. It's super catchy. It always gets stuck in my head. And I think they're doing a good job.
Okay, fair. I'm not exactly, you know, like latched on to this group as much as I have for Blitzers as a new group. Like new to me. But you know, like at the beginning part of the song, it's like it's not really pulling me in very much. I do get though how the Ruckus part, it kind of hits like that one Golden Child song that has like that iconic like line. So I definitely get that about it. And I'll also like the other point that I sort of felt about this when I watch it is I applaud the styling for not being like just sort of like mainstream trendy, you know, like what you're seeing with a lot of other groups. They went for something a little different, you know, like the sequin hockey outfits. And also the music video I feel like is a little a bit different. It's got like with like the parkouring scenes and stuff like
Mm-hmm,
that.
mm-hmm.
So it's definitely like I appreciate that aspect to it, even if the song I'm not like fully, feeling the song. I don't think the song is bad, but like I do like the like uniqueness that they're going with, rather than it's just like, oh yeah, it's just another one of these. It's definitely unique.
Yeah, I appreciate that these groups that aren't really like, the biggest groups that everybody is knowing and talking about, they're bringing something unique to the table. And so that is another reason that Ruckus stood out to me, because it was something a bit different. And I really like it. I've been listening to it a lot. I'm not like, I'm not familiar with the actual like members or group yet. But I listened to all their music. I just haven't seen much content from them. So I will probably check out some sort of content from them in the future. But for now, like, I've really been enjoying Ruckus, and their EP I think is good too. I think that all the songs on it are pretty good, and Love Parachute is probably my like, favorite B-side from that EP, and it sounds like a T by T song. Like their voices and like just the song in general literally sounds like T by T. So if you're a T by T fan, I think you would like GHOST9 Love Parachute. I'm just saying.
I like the name.
Yeah. So I don't really have anything else to say.
I say we move on.
Okay, let's move on to Cravity.
Okay, Cledge, what did you think about Groovy?
Okay, well, yeah, we're talking about Groovy. We actually did talk about Cravity and Groovy a little bit before, like probably in our mid-year favorites. We talked about it a little. And so this is kind of like, the song that made me realize, like, why haven't I given Cravity a chance yet? Like, I'm sorry that I slept on Cravity for so long. I didn't like, mean to. I feel bad now. Groovy is groovy, It's fun.
It really is.
It's catchy. It gets stuck in my head. I think that the choreography is fun. I think that Cravity really does the fun, bright concept well. Like GHOST9 with the sparkly jerseys, Cravity is doing that in a bit of a different way, though. But I really like their colored jerseys that they have in one of the dance practices. Definitely some fun styling on the music show stages as well, with like, the big hats and the teddy bears, stuff like that. I like to see it. Wanjin's hair, iconic. I love that. Like, I love when like JM from Just B had it during Reload era. It's like blonde in the back, but it's
right.
it's like almost mullet, but it's not. But it's like getting there, but the underside is blonde and the top part is dark. I like that. Pink mini, great. It definitely reminds me of Key, Good and Great, but Groovy came out first.
Ooh.
So, but I think we said that, or like I think I said that when we talked about Key's comeback. I really like Groovy. It's really good. It's fun. Yeah.
I think it's funny how you say that, like you said, Cravity is groovy. I mean, Cravity Groovy is groovy. You said it's catchy, and you said it's fun, and I literally wrote down all of those things as well. Yeah, like those are the main takeaway points, I feel like. And I just like, especially towards the end of the music video, I feel like it's totally like the vibes of the Cravity adrenaline school dance. Like that's what's happening like at the Cravity adrenaline school dance is groovy. So yeah, it's like at first we kind of were just like listening to Cravity Adrenaline like as a meme. Like, we were just like, oh, Cravity Adrenaline. And like we like thought it was good and catchy and we liked it, but like we didn't take it seriously. But like now we're like, okay, yeah, Cravity. Like
Yeah.
Cravity Groovy, Cravity Adrenaline, Cravity
Party
Megaphone,
Rock
Party
even.
Rock even. Hey, I'd even take Boogie Woogie from
Yeah.
every once in a while.
Yeah.
Like it's really like yeah, we didn't really, I feel like that's the best way to put it. We didn't take them seriously at first, even though we liked Adrenaline. But now it's like, no, these are good songs.
I feel bad because I think I've said it before. It's because of the name.
Yeah.
It really is. Like, I feel bad about it, but like I'm like, I don't know about that group name. But you push past that and you realize how good it is.
They become like Cravity, you
Yeah.
know, like so always here for a good Cravity song, and Groovy is that.
Before we move on, I also would just like to talk about their Masterpiece EP for a moment because I think it's really good. I think
Is that what it's called, or is that your opinion of it?
that's what it's called.
Okay.
They did like a self-cam music video to the song Fly, which I thought was nice, and I think that song is really good. And I really like the song A to Z. Forgive me and us if we have like said these sort of comments in passing before, because like I said, we've talked about Cravity in this podcast and stuff like that. It's just when this comeback happened, we weren't talking about it.
It wasn't our focus.
Right. But I might have said some of these things before. But A to Z, I really like that song. They were doing this like travel sort of thing, short videos on their Instagram stories for a while. That was nice. I thought it fit the vibe of the song really well. And just, yeah, I think those are my two favorite B-sides on that album.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts, Cledge.
You're welcome. I will now move on to share my thoughts on Odd Eye Circle. And we're talking about their sort of like debut, but just another comeback really, that happened in July, because this is 3 of the Luna members who are now like part of Artemis, but they were Luna Odd Eye Circle, but it's like they came back as Odd Eye Circle. So yeah, we're talking about Air Force One, the title track, and they had the Version Up EP as well. So what did you think of Air Force One? I'm not going to share my thoughts yet. I want to hear your thoughts on Air Force One.
Oh, well, I mean, I thought it was good. Like, it was fine. I'm not I always come back to this. I always feel like I know what Luna fans are called, and then I never remember.
Orbits,
of course. I was going to call them Universe, and I'm like, I know that's not it. Orbit. I'm not an Orbit, so like, don't take this as like I can't believe the offense that you've just said, like it was good, but I just as an outsider, I don't really have many more like points of interest, points to talk about with it, I just basically, it didn't really make me cry or make me feel like I wanted to cry like some of the other Luna members, like re-debut comeback sort of situations did. So that's about it.
I just wanted to say that the Artemis fans specifically are called Uri, so it's like our, it's spelled Ourii, and so like that in Korean like means like us, like our, we. So yeah, they have like an actual name too, but I'm pretty sure that nobody minds if like collectively it's like Luna, Orbits, and all that.
Okay.
But okay, I really liked this comeback. I thought that Air Force One had a really cool music video, and I think the song is like really cool and once again catchy. Like, it gets stuck in my head all the time. It has Le Seraphim, Eve, Psyche, and the Bluebeard's wife vibes, and I think that the Heejin cameo is pretty cool. There's a part that I'm pretty sure only happens in the music video, but everybody knows I like when they face each other when they're dancing, and Jinsol and Choi do that for a moment in the music video. Kim Lip fighting the people in the parking garage looks like some sort of video game. That's pretty cool. And yeah, I like the part, well, like, I don't really know. It's not like silhouette exactly. Like, it's almost, but I guess probably you could just call it that. The part at the end when they're dancing in front of like the white rectangle light box sort of situation and you can't like see them, I think that part looks cool. Okay. I think that all Luna music videos are always like visually strong and aesthetically pleasing, so this was definitely that for me. And the part when they put the eye patches on at the beginning, iconic.
I did think that the video was very nice quality. Is that all you had to say about Air Force One?
Yeah, pretty much just like, I guess just that. I think the choreography is good too.
Okay. I like, maybe it seems a bit rude to say, but I did see that they had performed another song, so like I clicked over to that one, and I honestly kind of thought Je ne sais quoi had a little bit more impact for me, like because of the way it starts. Like,
Right.
it just jumps right in. I was like, whoa, and that to me, like, that was something that like was a little different. Well, like I said, like more impactful, like I got a little something different out of it, like, so it stood out more to me. So I mean I enjoyed that one as well.
Okay, cool. I thought that you would like the beginning part especially because when the choreography starts, it reminded me when I saw it of Tony in when Pentagon's on Heyo TV and they're doing 365 Fresh,
Yeah,
doesn't it have that vibe?
Definitely. Yeah. Wow, that's funny that you knew that I would like that and that I liked that.
Yeah, I like Je ne sais quoi a lot. It's like dreamy and classy vibes. It's got the like
Je ne sais quoi.
yeah, really it does. It has Yubin vibes, but also like I'm getting Beck Yerin Square. Yerin Beck, sorry. I'm getting Square vibes from this too. So that's always a classic great thing. Yeah, I like it, and I think that they do a nice job with the performances of that too. The other songs, like, I think are good, and I actually really like the song Lucid, and so they have that like dreamy sort of vibe, I thought, in Je ne sais quoi. So Lucid has this like dreamlike quality again. So they've got like a good concept, and I think that Did You Wait is a cool intro because it's like switching stations and you could hear like Sweet Crazy Love and stuff like that, as they're switching between like the channels or whatever. So I thought that was cool. And yeah, I think that overall Odd Eye Circle is like this good blend of cool, elegant, and fun, which is like each member, like if we think about their solos, they're all kind of coming together and it's creating this like good balance, I think.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Now let's talk about Heejin of Artems / like Luna. So we're talking about her solo debut on like at the end of October with the KEP and Algorithm title track. And once again, she already debuted before, and like technically everybody in Luna had a solo, but we're just saying. So yeah, the Algorithm music video. I'll share my thoughts on that. I really like it. I think that it's pretty fun. It's, historical, but also modern. And the Odd Eye Circle cameo that's happening and the Hustle cameo that's happening are fun little details. And I really like the coloration of the video as well. And I think that the song itself is like the perfect 80s retro bop. I really enjoyed it.
It's interesting. Like, I didn't know that I was right about that, I guess. But I too thought that it had a retro 80s sound, but I was like, it's different than the other retro songs. Like, it's less disco and more like I Saw the Sign.
Yeah.
And I was like, am I crazy for like hearing the retro-ness to it, or does it sound retro?
Yeah, it definitely sounds retro.
It sounds retro, but it's like a retro that nobody else has really been doing that I can think of. So it's like, oh, retro again, retro sound again, retro sound again. But I feel like there was two very distinct retro sounds that we've been getting.
Yeah.
And this one is like I said, kind of like I Saw the Sign, or whatever that song is called, but the song that has those lyrics.
Yeah.
I liked it as well. I was surprised that I liked it. And at the beginning I was pretty like intrigued. Like I was wondering, where are they going to go with this? Because it starts with the historical like look, and I was like, but is it modern or is it historical? And then like it gets into it, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, it's fun, it's funky. I enjoyed it. I really did.
I thought you would. I think I might have told you, like, I was probably asking when it came out, I was like, did you watch any stages? And did you watch any stages now?
I didn't.
Because I thought you might like those too. Well, actually, I don't know if the styling would be too much or not, but I think that the styling is really fun. And I think that she's got some good colors that she's working with for her like stage outfits.
I definitely liked some of the like, you know, street clothing that was in the music video. So I should definitely check out some stages, because I mean, it was a good time.
I thought that like the live stages in general were like similar to Jaechon's Hello promotions and like his live stages. Like, you know, it was just Heejin with the backup dancers, and like she was doing it live a lot, but like there was also choreography moments where she like wouldn't be singing and just doing the choreography. But I think like, you know, when it's one person, that's kind of lately what's been like the vibe is like, you know, I've noticed that with like solo people a lot, which I think is fine. But I enjoy the stages as well. So did you happen to see any of her other like content from the song Video Game, because she promoted that a little bit as well?
I did see that she had a song called Video Game showing up on the side for me there, so I was like, okay, well, I probably should check that out because I like video games and I liked this song. So I did see, I think maybe I saw it from like a showcase, you know, like a fan thing or something. I liked Algorithm more, honestly, than Video Game. Like, it just, Algorithm I think was maybe a little bit more fun or something to me. Like it was more standout. But Video Game wasn't bad.
I just think that, you know, with Hello or with Algorithm, I thought it was like the vibes of Jaechon Hello, like just, you know, vibe wise. But with Video Game, I think that the intro sounds like Jaechon Hello and Red Velvet Bad Boy. Like, definitely, like it sounds very similar to that. I think that it like was interesting for her to do this one a little bit because like she's kind of like, oh, the ace, you know, so it was like showing how like, because this was more like dance, like sort of like, you know, it was like definitely a little bit darker than Algorithm, less like fun, more serious in a way. So I think it was good to like show off her different like, you know, skills. And then the last thing I want to say about Heejin is that I think that Sad Girls Club is a really good B-side. It has Dean Instagram vibes. If you're familiar with that song, I think you would like this song.
I thought you were talking about Dean, like the person, his Instagram.
No, the song.
And I'm like, that's interesting. You're talking about a song being like someone else's like aesthetic on their Instagram page.
Please allow us to now move on to Kang Daniel's comeback, his Japanese comeback with Rebel, and the B is an 8, just for information purposes. So he had this pretty recently at the end of November, and he had the other song Worst Day Ever, and then Japanese versions of Supernova and SOS. But the music video was for Rebel. So what did you think of that?
I liked it. I thought it was a fun, like, version of a Japanese comeback that I feel like we don't get very often. I feel like I usually love the Japanese comebacks, but they're often like not from Kang Daniel, I'm saying in general, they're often either like super like fun or like hard hitting sort of songs, or they're like those really soft, pretty sounding ones. But this time we got like the classic like band like anime music thing. Like it really reminded me of Only's song that he did like the band with that I said sounded like that. But that one wasn't even a Japanese song. So good all around. I really enjoyed the sound of it. You know, I enjoyed that it was something different like that. And I just think it was like a very simple but effectively executed concept. You know, it was just like rebel, like let's have some rocking out in like a library because, you know, we're rebels. And so I liked that like there's shots of the band and like that sort of vibe rather than it being something that has choreography. You know, like I feel like that's very fitting. And I just didn't like the masks on the people. They were creepy. Obviously they would have creeped me out. I always talk about that. But besides that, I liked it. I thought it was good. What did you think, Cledge?
I agree. I think it's pretty solid. I think that it's like I like the band sound a lot and the anime vibes I really enjoy. So I was, you know, intrigued that Daniel was doing something this style, and I think he did it really well. I think that, you know, like you said, the music video is simple, but it's good. Like it fits well. Like he didn't like overdo it, but he didn't underdo it. Like it was just, it was what it needed to be, really. It has Woods I Hate You vibes for sure. I know you like think those would probably be like, you know, overdoing it for you. Like he's really pushing a concept there. But I really like that. But you know, I like it.
Yeah, and what you're saying about like, well, I lost my train of thought about what you were saying, but I'm sure it makes sense. What you said made me think of the fact that it's kind of nice or cool that like Kang Daniel gets to, because he is a solo artist and like his own company, he gets to just pick and choose like what he wants to do. And like it like seems like the type of person that like likes anime and stuff like that, so he might have just been like, you know, I want to have something that's this sort of sound and vibe, and he like gets to curate it a little bit more so that it's not like it's not like a vibe that's too far from his like personal taste, you know. He's like, this is what I liked. And so like I feel like the execution can turn out better when the person is like, this is what I really like, so I'm gonna make what I really like.
So overall, I think that like his other song too has anime vibes and like that rock band sort of sound. So I think that he did a good job. I liked it. Now let's talk about another Japanese release, and this is the solo debut of Yuto from Pentagon that recently happened in December. So, if you're not familiar with Pentagon, please stand Pentagon.
Oh,
if you're not familiar with the Pentagon situation, it's too complicated to explain. In a way, sort of. I just don't want to get into it. But just as far as we know, okay, Yuto had his solo debut, and he had the Dat Girl EP, and yes, I am saying Dat, and he had like that's the music video and like the title track, I guess you would call it. And he was involved in the establishment of Rink Entertainment, so that's where he is now.
Yeah, and it might seem a little weird for us to be covering this comeback because it's sort of like J-pop, not K-pop at this point.
Yeah.
But we're doing it anyway.
Yeah.
And so deal with it.
Yeah. So I will talk about it.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think that the music video itself, like strictly just like the visuals of the music video, is like Do or Not meets Feelin' Like. And
okay.
It's weird things to combine, but I think you would know if you know. As far as the sound, Bestie Excuse Me, all the way, 100%, and that is a good thing. I actually...
It sounds like you were just saying, Bestie, excuse me? Like...
No, the song Excuse Me by Bestie, yeah, that's a good thing. I actually really like the EP and this song. I think that I kind of, when I heard that, when I heard what the song was going to be called, I was like, this doesn't seem like it's going to be my vibe. But then I heard like the, highlight medley or teaser, whatever he was calling it. I heard that and I was like, these songs actually sound like they're going to be pretty good. And yeah, I really like them all. I think the whole EP is very vibey. There's a lot of like video game vibes to some of the tracks, which I think is cool. I feel like it's very Yuto, which is great. But now back to Dat Girl. I feel like I just want to say That Girl. But as far as the concept, I don't really ever like the whole get rid of the nerdy appearance and suddenly become more popular like trope. But like the concept of the video is supposed to be light and fun, so I'll try to not take it too seriously. But like it is overall fun.
I mean, Pentagon pretty.
Yeah. It is overall fun, and like the concept overall is like, I get that it's supposed to be light and fun. Kind of surprising that he took it in like that direction, like that kind of visually I wasn't expecting from Yuto. But I think it's good. The cast doesn't really bother me. Sometimes when there's a lot of extras or like people that I'm not familiar with that are in the video so prominently, sometimes it's a little bit, not my thing. But I wasn't really bothered by this. Yeah. Sorry, I feel like I was rambling a little bit.
No, not at all. There's a lot to cover here. But yeah, I feel like Yuto is prominent enough that it helps with the surrounding folk. But okay, yeah. Dat Girl. So immediately the starting line, I wanna be your boy, is so Pentagon to me. Like when I hear that part, it sounds so Pentagon. But then like other sounds that are happening in the music video, I think is unique. Like it's not a way that I've really heard Yuto before. So I think it was an interesting mix of like a back and forth between me being like, oh, it sounds like Pentagon, to sounding like Yuto. So that was interesting. I do like it as well. I also thought it was very unexpected that Yuto had almost like this comedy aspect going on. I was like, really? Like Yuto is doing this? Like I didn't think that he would. But I think he executes it well. And I thought it was kind of funny how he's sort of, he's being super irrelevant kid. Like,
wow,
like,
yeah, I always forget about that.
Yeah, like if you're an OG Meower, I've mentioned it before, my original sort of nickname that I had for Yuto, because I was just giving all of the Pentagon members nicknames when I first saw them in Shine to like remember them and name them. I was like, okay, that dude's is, well, so that's where some of our iconic nicknames came from. But I'm getting off track. But when I saw Yuto in the Shine video, I would call him Super Irrelevant Kid because I was like, I swear you never see this boy until his part happens. So it was it wasn't like a hateful thing for me to be saying. But that was his original nickname. And then he is like doing that vibe for the Dat Girl music video. He is like, I am like, nerdy, like no one notices me, like he's cringing out of the way, like it's totally that vibe. And then also the other thing I always say about Yuto is how cool he is, and then he has the parts
other scenes
where he's cool, like, where he's really cool. So I was like, wow, he really is like fully like doing the like transition timeline of like when I first saw him. I didn't think he was a nerd when I first saw him, but yeah, I see it. I like it. I appreciate it. and I did listen to the other songs on the album.
Oh, you did. Good.
Yes, I did. I thought that Poker was the first one that I listened to, after Dat Girl, and I was shook. That one's pretty scary sounding to me.
Okay.
My favorite was Wild.
Yeah.
That one's
really good.
It's pretty good. Overall, I found them, I think, upon first listen, like I've only listened to them once, I found them to be a bit overwhelming for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like there's a lot going on vibe-wise. Like it's a bit, I don't know how else to put it, just a bit overwhelming. Like I was like, whoa, okay, yeah, like it's dancey and it's fun and it's like, whoa, but at the same time I'm like, whoa.
Okay.
But
I think that they're really good.
I do think they're good. Like I just feel like maybe it's too much for me.
Well, I think that he did great for his first like official solo, and I just want to say the orange sweater, glasses Yuto look in the music video is like right up there with some of the top Yuto looks in my opinion.
Wow.
Like Spring Snow Yuto and the whole Demo 1 jacket photos with the turtleneck from like this era, that Yuto. This is right up there with the top Yuto looks.
Okay.
So even though that's his, before persona in the music video, I think it looks really good.
My preferred look styling for that video would definitely be the like neither of the scenes, like neither of the like movie scene ones. It's the other one, the like slicked back hair one.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're gonna be talking about Monsta X, and we're talking about Beautiful Liar, which was released in January. And so, yeah, I don't really have much to say about their EP. It was the Reason EP, so I'm going to say that right now. Like, I'll really just be focusing on Beautiful Liar. I don't know about you.
Yeah, no, same.
Okay. So, yeah, why don't you go ahead and share your thoughts?
I just think it's really good. Like, a lot of Monsta X's title tracks, they've got a lot of winners. It's really good. It's really strong. The music video, it is sort of that like classic Monsta X music video print. Like it's not like it has something that different compared to a lot of theirs, in terms of like, the general like style of like how the scenes happen and stuff like that. But it's good, strong. The styling is pretty good and everything. And really, I think the notable thing here is Hyungwon and Minhyuk are really standout.
Absolutely.
They're like, this is their time. They're really like at the forefront, I feel like.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, they stand out a lot to me. And overall, I think that the song is a great transition from like Monsta X comebacks to the Shonu Hyungwon comeback that happened after that. Like I feel like it sort of blends the two together.
Okay.
So what did you think, Cledge?
Okay, as far as the music video goes, it's like not my favorite from Monsta X. Well, we all know what some of my favorites from Monsta X are. But like the location mainly is so overused, and I just like I don't really like the feeling of that location that they're in. So yeah, and I don't ever like close-up mouth shots. I'm really sorry.
Well, yeah.
But I never like when that happens. But I do like the black and white, like not, it's not in black and white all of a sudden, but like, the parts that have a lot of white and a lot of black going on. I like those parts the best. But yeah, so the music video, not my favorite, but the song I really love. I think it's really good. And it's really strong, and I love when songs start with rap. So this like starts right in with IM's part, and it's great. I think that the raps throughout are really strong as well. I like them. Yeah, like you said, Hyungwon and Minhyuk really stand out, absolutely getting their moment. Hyungwon's part, dare I say, I will definitely dare to say, is one of Hyungwon's most iconic moments like ever. Not even just in Monsta X songs, but just ever. It's, it's really, if I wasn't like a Hyungwon fan before, I am now. This is just so, just really, really legendary stuff coming from Hyungwon in this song, in this performance, this choreography. Yeah, really good. The live stages, I love watching those. Like, they're angry about something. The fans are angry about something. You can always hear Monbebe, and I love that. Like, it seems like a concert rather than a music show.
They're very passionate.
Yeah, I think that it really adds to the overall energy that I'm getting from the stages. So that's why I really like to watch them perform that song. That one in Kigayo stage starts exactly like a Guitar Hero opening scene, like right before the song starts, and it's like, they show the chandelier and then they show the light sticks a little and then they start their performance.
That's so funny.
Yeah, it's really funny. And personally, I like the tweed looks and the herringbone. Those are my favorite looks from this comeback. I don't really care about the leather looks. I like the other ones for the comeback. So yeah, really like Beautiful Liar.
So much to break down here. Not really break down, but I want to add on a little bit. Yeah, the tweed is my lesser of the two. The leather I think would be better, but we all know that about both of us. The Monbebe and Monsta X, they really feed off of each other. I think that's a very symbiotic relationship that they have. And let's just talk about Hyungwon iconic moments just for one moment. As in one moment, Dior. Was that her name? Or was that Minhyuk's name?
Oh, Minhyuk's name was Dior. Yeah.
What was Hyungwon's name?
I don't know.
Because Hyungwon's character because I was going to say, you were trying to say this was one of Hyungwon's most iconic moments, and I was like, well, you haven't even seen all of Monsta X-Ray, so whoa, there could be some stuff there. Oh, wow. But you have seen the dramas, so
those are classic.
That is pretty iconic. But yeah, this, I would say it's right up there. It's not like, every Monbebe probably knows this. It's not like he's gotten that many opportunities in terms of the songs.
Yeah.
They just in recent times have been giving him more moments to be iconic. He had to take what he could get in the past, I suppose. But it's deserved, right? It's deserved. He is getting what he deserves with this.
In a good way.
Yeah, I'm not saying him not having stuff is deserved. I'm saying him having these iconic moments, he should have more. I too find the up close mouth parts a little bit uncomfortable. And also, because you were talking about black and white, I did think that the parts where Kihyun is singing, and Kihyun is in the black and white space that has chains or something like that, but then also Hyungwon is there. There's a whole bunch of shots of Hyungwon there.
I thought I.M was rapping in that part.
Oh, maybe it's
but Hyungwon is there.
Well, yeah, Hyungwon's there, but why?
It's really confusing because I thought it was wait, that's not I.M, right? That's Hyungwon.
It's really hard to tell from some of the angles and the shots because they're switching back and forth.
Yeah.
And so it's just really confusing, I thought, and unnecessary, even though we just talked about how Hyungwon doesn't get enough parts and they're throwing him some parts here for the music video, but it's not his part in the song.
Yeah.
So I was confused by that part when I initially saw it, but not to nitpick the music video, but
yeah, there's the whole Kihyun walking though, and the overlay of him walking to one side and then walking to the other. I think those parts of the music video are interesting.
Okay.
Just also to go back to the Monbebes for a minute, just to, shout everyone out. I really respect Monbebes as a fandom. Just they seem to, have good,
sense.
Good sense, good togetherness, good, morals in a way, I guess, probably. I don't know for sure, but and good energy. When Blitzers was performing Macarena at the PepsiCon or Pepsi Fest, whatever it was called, I was watching the Macarena performance and I could see there were fans in the audience because it was more of like a casual setting of like a festival, and there were Monbebes everywhere, and they were really vibing to Macarena, and I really appreciated that. I'm like, finally some people with sense. So yeah.
I feel like maybe like Monsta X, like Juhani specifically, I feel like he wouldn't be afraid to like really like make it known and almost like yell at Monbebe to be like, you know, be good, you know, like be respectful, show support for other people and stuff like that. So they'd be like, okay, we're gonna do this.
They have wannable energy.
Okay.
Like, you know how back in the day wannables would be like having their light stick on for every artist at all of the festivals and stuff. That's the energy I get from Monbebes. So I really appreciate that.
Good for them.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like some people would want to call me a Monbebe because I talk about being a fan of Monsta X, but I'm reluctant to ever like call myself part of any fandom because I feel like I'm not like, I don't do enough. But I could be like an honorary Monbebe. Like I would be nice like that.
Yeah, I would call you a Monbebe.
Thanks.
Okay, the last group that we're going to be talking about today is the Boyz. Now, we talked again about this actual comeback that we're talking about in our mid-year review, and we've talked about the Boyz' other comebacks in our other comeback like monthly episodes. We talked about Lip Gloss and we talked about Watch It, but we didn't ever really get to focus on Roar and the Be Awake EP, so that's what we're doing now. This was back from February. So what did you think?
So I thought that the Boyz' Roar, it's good. It definitely has grown on me over time. Like I feel like maybe when I initially talked about it, I might have said things that seemed a little bit worse about it. Whereas now I think like there's nothing wrong with it, you know. It doesn't bother me or anything like that. It's good. It's got a nice beat, all of these things. But I just for some reason always forget about it. Like really, really, really forget about it. Like and so I don't know why. But I can't really like have a stronger like, you know, opinion on it because to me it's like every time it comes up I have to be like reminded of it. I'm like, oh yeah, the Boyz' Roar, okay, yeah. So, you know, I feel like it's fallen through the cracks of my mind or something. It's not a purposeful you know, please eject this from my memory. It's just sort of like, oh yeah, the Boyz' Roar. But it's good. Nothing wrong with it. It's good. What did you think?
I really like it. I really liked it when it came out. We just didn't get a chance to talk about it ever. So like this was something that I was really in, and I'm still in it now. I do still think that it's good. I think that the music video is really cool. It's cool that they were finally continuing like the whistle that we heard at the end of that music video. So they were finally tying it back around. I really think that the song is, once again, I've been saying so many things in this episode are catchy, but it is. And yeah, I like it. Juyeon is definitely getting his main character. I mean, literally, like, his name is Juyeon, and so main character. It's like literally, he's finally getting that. Well, I don't want to say finally because, like, he has been, but, like, deserved. Like, he's still getting that main character moment. And, you know, I think that's fine. But Juyeon's dance break in the actual like choreography and then like the whole break transition moment in the music video is like really cool. I really like that part. It's like my favorite part of the music video. The feathers are really interesting. The rain is really good. I think that Changmin and Chanhee are also really stand out in the music video personally. Well, I think everybody's kind of getting a moment in the music video.
Yeah, I think
like,
so.
I think right from the start to the end, you kind of actually are like, I feel like it kind of is like, okay, now it's your turn, and now it's your turn. Like, I feel like everybody has a moment, and I think that, like, artistically, it's one of their strongest music videos, like, in my opinion. Like, I think there's a lot visually that's making it stand out, and I think it looks really nice.
Yeah, I do think, like, I remember thinking the first time I saw it, and maybe the first time we talked about it, that I thought, especially, like, that Juyeon part where there's a lot of, like, CGI elements, I thought it was really, like, overwhelming or, like, distracting, or, like, I thought it looked bad because it was, like, so weird and, like, fake looking, you know, of, like, a thing that was happening. Like, there's all this shards flying and things are twisting, and, like, I was weirded out by it. But I don't think that anymore. Like, I see it more as, like, you know, I see the vision of it now. And I think, yeah, it's kind of like, it's a lot of the Boyz music videos seem to have that sort of, like, vibe to them, but, like, this one seems like it's done, like not better, but, like, richer, you know, like it can be executed to a less, like, cheap degree, if that makes sense. Like, it just seems like fancier, you know, like they could really, like, go where they wanted to with their vision.
Yeah.
I think, like, I like it.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's good. I think there's a lot of cool elements to the choreography overall. And, like, generally I really like this choreography. I like it lyrically as well. And that one music bank stage is really good. Like, whoever was filming it that day, like, their rent was due, you know. They weren't messing around with filming that stage. Like, they had almost, maybe at some parts it was like there were too many cuts and stuff, but, like, I think it was shot pretty close to how the music video was for some of, like, you know, get this motion at this person's part. So yeah, that's Roar. The only other thing that I want to say is that I think Horizon is a great B-side.
Never heard it.
Yes, you have.
Okay, well, I don't remember it. I'm not very good at remembering B-sides unless it's one that I listen to all the time.
Well, Horizon is really good. So yeah, that's it.
There may be more comebacks that we didn't round up, but, you know, like we said, we have limits, you know.
Yeah, there's definitely more that, like, just that I can think of that I know I enjoyed, but I don't think we ever really talked about or really got a chance to focus on. But sorry about that, you know. What can we do? What can we say? You're like, you could talk about it, but
we'd have a never-ending podcast.
Yeah.
Do you know how many comebacks happen in a year? A lot.
Yeah. So yeah, we hope that you enjoyed hearing our thoughts on these not current comebacks, and you can go ahead and leave a comment and tell us what your favorite comeback is that I guess maybe that happened all year or that we talked about today. And if you liked hearing what we had to say, you can like the video if you're listening on YouTube, subscribe to the BlushCat channel, and turn on notifications. If you're listening on Spotify but you haven't followed us yet, please be sure to do that. And also follow BlushCat's Spotify profile, and you can save our playlists to your library.
Woohoo!
Okay, yeah. So that's it.
Thank you guys so much for listening.
This has been Cledge.
And me. Bye.
Meow 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 meow.